I want to get going on the Case 830, and to do that, I gotta pull all the calcium out of the tires. And I bought a little water fitting, and it will not go on to the tube, so I'm kind of hoarse. So it's an old tube. I got the Schrader valve out. Went to turn the Schrader valve and it just broke. So I'm going to try to drill this thing out. I'm going to have to use this to adapt to it. Here we go. I'm going to drill this thing out. Beautiful. Okay, so now I got this piece, and I'll be able to screw it into this piece, and then screw it into the tube. But there's junk in it. I don't want junk getting in my pump. There we go, cleaned right out. So this is the tube, and that's a water fitting for the tube. And this fitting's supposed to go on there, but I can't get it to go. So that's why I had to go ahead and use the old fitting here, drill it out, and I gotta use this adapter. And I don't want stuff leaking all over either, because this calcium is terrible stuff. Here we go. Turning it right on there. Okay, that's tight, and I got a little valve. It's really meant for garden hoses, but it's plastic, so I think it'll hold up. So now I'm gonna roll the tire around and roll this to the bottom. Of course, I got tools sitting on it. Oh, it's leaking. Ooh, calcium. Looks like I gotta put the hose on first and have it ready to go, because this little gizmo's leaking. I don't even know what that's for, or why. What the heck is it? It's like a little valve thing. Maybe it's just loose and that's why it's leaking. I'll snug it down. So calcium rots wheels and everything, so this stuff gets out, it's bad. All right, just snug that down. Let's see if it still leaks. We'll know pretty quick. Yep, I don't get that. I don't know what that's about. And it's dripping all over. Okay, tires. Now, I went ahead and I got on eBay. I bought this pump and it was cheap. It's a little diaphragm pump, like the kind you would use for this moving fluids. It's an air operated pump is what it is. And so I had it pumping yesterday forever and it didn't seem to move any fluid. I did have a little bit up in here. I don't know where it came from, to be honest. I don't think it moved any fluid. Basically all it is a couple diaphragms. You get air on one side of them and it pulsates back and forth, so it pumps fluid, supposedly. I took this off. There's just a couple steelies in there, a couple marbles, steelies, and it's just gravity holds them down so that they're supposed to, create a check valve so that the thing will pump. So you got one down here, that'll be a check valve. You got them up here, it's a check valve. But it seemed to me when I put my hand over the end of the hose that it was just like moving air back and forth, so like the checks weren't working. But I'm thinking maybe just because it was air. So all that to say, we're gonna get down to where we're going to prime this pump. Now I gotta roll this around so that that's on the bottom where the fluid is. I left it up for overnight because I didn't want it dripping calcium out everywhere. Okay, so there it is. But I stopped at my local New Milford Hardware, the most awesome store in the world, and I got this. It's just for garden hoses is all this stuff's for, and I got this air nipple. So here's my evil plan. I'm gonna add like 18 pounds of pressure to this. I'm gonna close this valve here so that the pressure gets directed back down the garden hose, back to the tractor tire. And I'm gonna let it just go up to 18 PSI of pressure. I'll do that by setting my regulator over here on the compressor. I don't know if I can read that on this. Oh, there goes the pump. Oh, it acts like it's pumping or something. Moving the hose. I don't think it is. Well, let's see. Let's make sure. I would expect to see air bubbles. It's cold here in Northeast PA this morning. So I don't feel any pumping going on. I think it's just pushing those pistons back and forth. Okay, I got that set at 20. I've hooked my air hose up because it was not pumping. And I can hear the tire gurgling. Oh yeah, I can hear it. It's putting some air pressure in there. So what I'm expecting is, once I hear that stop gurgling, I know there's enough air in the tire. I'm gonna turn this valve off. I'm gonna open that valve up and see if it doesn't just push some fluid right up through. Also, I'm choked down through just a valve stem hole, which is like an 1/8 inch hole. So this is gonna take a little time. I gotta move 100 gallons basically of calcium, an 1/8 inch hole. So it could take all day to suck that tire down. I don't know, it's gonna take a little while, I know that. So, Okay, that tire stopped gurgling, so I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to turn this on. Ooh, I hear it. Pump's making noise. So it's pushing air out of the line and stuff first, I'm sure. You can hear it. Ooh, that might be fluid already. Let's go check. There we go. Wow, that's like full stream. I don't know how that much fluid's coming out of an 1/8" hole. Oh, got some air and gurgulations going on. Well, I'm going to go move the air over to the pump so that starts pumping. Well, let's see what it's pumping now. Well, I got the hose wiggling. I think it's pumping. All right, haha, winning. Just a simple fitting. Only cost me a couple bucks, $7 for that, another $5 and a couple dollars, and hey, we're good to go. I think it's gonna keep pumping. Well, looks like it's still going. It's working. It's probably been about 10 minutes, I'm guessing. About a third of the way up the barrel, and it's still pumping fluid. So a little bit like it's got a prostate issue, but other than that, working. I got this barrel open, so as soon as I get up a ways, I'll flip them over. All right, so while that thing's pumping away, it's probably been another, I don't know, I lose track of time, but probably like 5 minutes. I'm halfway up the barrel, so that's good. Well, I've just noticed a change in cadence. The thing sped up quite a bit all of a sudden. What does that mean? Yeah, it's pretty dried up. Oh, it's still burping a little bit. Yep, still spewing out a little bit of fluid, but that's pretty slow. So what do I do? I think I'm going to add more air to that tube again. Well, I think there had to be more than one barrel in there, but I don't know. So this thing's really sped up quite a bit. I don't think it's moving much fluid. But just for the heck of it, I'm going to put air in that tire again. We'll see what happens. So I got to turn off this valve here so I don't want to just blow it into the barrel. Do that, open this. Ooh. Let's go back by the tire. We'll see if it's gurgling. Sounds pretty gurgly to me, so I'm thinking there's still fluid in there. How much? I don't know. But I can hear the air going through fluid. So I'm gonna let it pump this tire right up, which is gonna put a lot of air in there. It's gonna be enough to push out the rest of the fluid, I bet. Of course, it's not gonna take it from the very bottom, right? It's just gonna, you know, push the air out. Any fluid above the nipple will come out, but below the nipple, I don't think it will. So, I don't know, we'll just have to see what happens now. I think it'll work. Well, I'm not hearing the tractor gurgle anymore. It looks like it's full of air too. It's puffed right up. So time to go back to the old switcheroo on this thing then. So turn this valve off, turn this valve. Well, you know what? I'm going to turn the pump on first. Okay, now the pump's chugging. Open up this valve. Ooh. See what it's pushing through. Oh wow, blew the thing right out. Sounds like a bunch of air. Oh, I'm just going to let it pump for a while. That must be it. It must have been all the fluid in there, except for what's at the very bottom. And hopefully that pump's got enough pump in it to pull the tube down. If it pulls the tube down, it'll pull the fluid. I don't see that happening. Anyway, this is what we're going to do. This tire is flattening out on top. See how like that one's peaked up? This one's pretty flat. It was peaked up before. Now I'm not getting any more fluid out. I don't think this thing's actually drawing anything. I'm going to try speeding it up and see if it works. Yeah, this tire's empty. It's empty enough at least we can roll it outside. You know, if we have to, we'll just lay it on its side and pop the bead apart. Maybe we'll just leave the pump hooked up on its side underneath. Yeah, I could do that. I could take the tire off, flip it over, and it'll probably draw more fluid out. I want to suck that tube right down. I think we're just about ready to switch over to the other tire. All right, this has been going for about an hour, probably an hour and a half. Let's see, it's not doing anything anymore. It's not even burping anything out. So, I mean, it's dry. I can't even feel it trying to pump or nothing. No, not even any fluctuation in it. So that's all the fluid I got out, which isn't a whole lot. Time to switch over to the other. Now, I'm gonna shut this valve off just because, and this valve too. I put it up so high on the other side that this side's too low now and the tire's scrubbing the ground, so I can't turn it. I gotta be able to turn it. Ooh, that's a little spooky. Ha, got it. Anyway, I gotta put the camera down. I'm gonna hook that hose up there, get that going, and we'll see what happens. All right, here we go. We gotta roll this thing up. Oh. So if I roll this all the way up, wow, this is not good looking. Oh man, I think I'm gonna have problems with this one. Oh, there's calcium already. So what would happen now, it's got air pressure in there. If I let this tire roll, it's gonna squirt calcium all over the place. That ain't good, no matter how you slice it. I don't think I can take that out of there. I think that's too corroded up. Now what am I gonna do? I think what I'm gonna do, see if I can take that valve stem out. I doubt it's gonna come out because everything's so corroded. Maybe I ought to put a drill in there and then I'll just drill it out like I did the other one. I don't know. I don't want to get calcium on my drill though. Stuff's so wickedly, horribly nasty as far as rusting things out. Not sure what to do. I know, I'll put a rag on this. So if any gets on there, it'll suck it up. Paper towel! I did, I poked it through, so I got that there. Yeah, let's see what happens. Probably be a disaster of Herculean proportion. There we go. I don't want to bust the bit off in there either. That would be a mess. There we go. Oh, you can hear the air coming out of it. Gotta hook up my little gizmo. I gotta be careful, this thing will break off. I don't trust this valve stem too much. It's pretty junky. I got it on there tight now though. I got a little air pressure in there. How about I turn the pump on now, then we'll roll the tire down and see if it just starts pumping. And if it don't, then we'll add the air pressure to it. Okay, that's okay. The pump is on. It's over there chugging away. Let's roll this tire down. Now there's still some air pressure in this old nasty tire. So let's see if there's enough to get it primed up and going. It ought to be, I think, but who knows. And here we got it, all at the bottom, open the valve. Now it's trying to roll back the other way, so I gotta get my little prop stick out again. Now if it don't work, I'm gonna put air to it like I did last time. But I really hope it just works. Oh, I just heard a change in cadence. Let's see what's going on. I might have to bump up the air pressure a little. It might be pumping. Yep, there you go, I can see it rippling in there. So it's actually pumping fluid. I think what I'm going to do is turn it up a little, get it running a little smoother. Okay, I just cranked it up. We got about 30 pounds of PSI going through there. 30 pounds of pressure. All right, I think I'm just going to let that thing pump. Hopefully I don't have to add any air to it at all. That'd be awesome. It's moving a lot of fluid now. Cool. I get this system working. I have another tire I have to do for a friend of mine, so we'll see. The thing I gotta do now is just let it run until I hear it changing. Well, I'm gonna check the barrels on occasion, but other than that, I'm gonna let it run until I hear it change the speed again. And then we'll see. So the time it took me to polish that bumper, it filled this barrel up. I don't think I ran over a whole lot. A little bit though. I think I lost a little. Nah, not much. So that's good. Put the cap on. Good enough. Now we'll see if it fills this barrel. It's still pumping quite a bit. So anyway, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. We'll see you guys on the next one.